Game started.
Oh, RKN from the US. Let's start off with E4. Let's see, what have I been playing lately? D4 I played most recently, okay. F3 we get a Sicilian. Knight F3, Knight C6. And I go for the open Sicilian. And there's a lot of different choices Black has from here. He can develop the other knight and get into a typical classical kind of Sicilian. Here he can play E4, E5 rather, either before or after developing knight and going into a Sveshnikov or Kalashnikov. Now, because he didn't play, since he didn't play knight to F6, I haven't had to play knight to C3. So when he plays D6, I can play C4 without the knight on C3 blocking that pawn. And I probably will. That's the D6 is the normal move, and then C4 you get a version of the Maroczy bind, which is pretty good. Ah, so he's trying this idea. He's trying to throw in this knight F6 move, hitting the pawn. Let's see, if I play knight here, check, and he takes, and I take, then he can grab the pawn. But is that safe? Can I attack that knight somehow? Yeah, I don't see any particular double attacks there. So let's go back to, now we're just going to get a regular Sveshnikov. Go back to knight C3. C4 is not an option anymore. Now I really am going to play knight to D6 if he doesn't play the pawn to D6. Because, well, it wins the bishop for the knight. I wonder if he has other ideas.
Check.
And this queen on D6 is kind of an annoyance. So that's why D6 is almost always played there. He can't castle for the moment. What can he do? He can play queen to E7 here. Try and drive the queen away. And what shall I do? I could play bishop out somewhere. Bishop G. Yeah, bishop G5 is an interesting move. Maybe I'm thinking of taking and damaging his pawn structure here. Although I'm not sure that's a good thing. But I can now castle queenside. Put some pressure perhaps on this pawn. Not too likely, I guess. Maybe knight to D5 is an idea. Knight to D5, putting more pressure on his pinned knight. He's just attacking my weak pawn here, which he will take with check. So let's castle. Deal with that now. See if he has any way of chasing my queen away. This knight could go here, but I could take it. And it just goes back. Yeah, so how about knight to D5? Isn't that good? Well, knight to D5, knight takes. Pawn is possible, right? Because it's hitting my queen. So bishop takes, knight takes. Then what? Then knight here, check, and grab the rook in the corner. So I win the exchange for a pawn, I guess. I don't know. Knight takes E4. Bishop takes queen. Knight takes queen. Knight to C7, check. King takes bishop. Knight takes rook. Is my knight getting trapped there? Can come out through b6, I guess. I still have a rook here too, right? And a light squared bishop. Should be an interesting position. I can't really tell. Can't really tell from this vantage point who's better there.
Black resigns.
Oh, not resigning right here. Okay, well, we will check that out in the postmortem. See if Black could have continued.